Hi everyone, and welcome to this video where we'll be strengthening up the pelvic floor muscle. So anyone can do this video, but I'm specifically designing it for those people with female reproductive organs, and particularly people that have just given birth and you want to try and strengthen up the pelvic floor muscle to keep everything nice and contained. So first things first, grab yourself a blanket and or pillow and a bolster and or pillow. We'll be using those later. But firstly, I want you to start off in the position that I'm in, sitting on your shins, and we're going to try and find the pelvic floor muscle. That is the first and hardest thing when you're working on the pelvic floor muscle, to actually locate it. So the easiest way I think to locate it is to actually stop a wee midstream, but we don't want to be doing these exercises on the toilet, so you're just going to have to imagine that for now. So I want you to just close your eyes, because when you close your eyes, it just takes away all the other distractions and allows you to really focus in on the sensations in your body. Close your eyes down and imagine now you're trying to hold in a wee. So scooping up, lifting up through the lower part of your pelvis. We're going to hold for another breath. And then you're just going to relax. And we're going to do that 4 more times. We're going to hold for 5 counts each time. So close the eyes down, scoop the pelvic floor up, hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Scoop the pelvic floor up and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Now don't worry if it starts to feel a little bit strange, or you can't feel it straight away, or you sort of feel it and then you lose it. Eventually it will start to build up and feel stronger. Let's do that a couple more times. Breathing in, lifting up the pelvic floor, holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing out. And again, scooping up, holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing. Good, so you can do that exercise as well with a Kegel. So a Kegel, you just pop in and it gives you something to squeeze against, or you can come to sit on a bolster. We're going to do that 5 more times. So sitting on a bolster just helps to sort of bring a little bit of sensation into that area so you can actually feel where you're squeezing into. Once you've found a position that feels comfortable, you can just stay as you were. You're going to close the eyes down, and we're going to do that for 5 more. So scooping lower abdominals in and also scooping up the pelvic floor, holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Scooping up the pelvic floor, holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Scooping up the pelvic floor, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. And last 2 times, scooping in, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Last time, scooping up, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Well done everyone. So now bring yourself down onto your back. Grab your blanket or pillow, fold it up, and then place it in between your legs. If you have a bouncy ball for this, grab a bouncy ball, that would be perfect, and place that in between your legs instead. So bring yourself down onto your back. All you're going to do is place the feet to the ground, the knees are bent, and you're just going to squeeze into that blanket or pillow or bouncy ball, and you're going to scoop your lower abdominals in, scoop up your pelvic floor, hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. 4 more times like that, pressing into your blanket as hard as you can for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. 3 more times, pressing into the blanket, holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Last 2 times, really think about that pelvic floor lifting up as you press in for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. And last time, pressing in for 5, 4, scooping the pelvic floor, 2, 1, and release. Well done. So just take that blanket away. And now you're going to bring your knees up above your hips, and your feet are going to be about in line with your knees, so you're making an almost right angle. If this feels like it's too much for your core right now and you feel like you're sort of putting a bit too much pressure into your lower back, just bring your knees a little bit closer. The further your knees are away from you, the harder it is, but start off with an easy version so you can really focus on the pelvic floor. Now you're just going to take your knees apart and then bring them back together. We're going to do that 10 times. So 8 out and in, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Now bring yourself round and up and onto all fours. So in all fours, you're going to extend your right leg back and lift your left arm forwards. You can either do it just to there, or you can lift the right leg up, but try not to go too bendy in the lower back. Try to keep it nice and contained through your core. Now you're just going to bring the knee and the hand back down to the floor, and we're going to do that 9 more times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, stabilizing through the core, 7, 8, and 9. Good. Switching straight over to the other side, so left leg goes back, right arm comes forwards, then maybe hover that left foot away from the ground. Taking it back down and extending out 9 more times. Really think about what's happening in your pelvic floor muscle, your lower abdominals. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. So now we're going to come up to standing, so you can make your way there however you'd like, but I'm going to suggest walking the hands back, just coming up onto your toes. You can just release the head forwards, let your belly just flop onto your thighs, and then let your heels come to the ground, give yourself a nice little forward fold, and then slowly roll yourself up to standing. Good, so we're going to go through some squats now. So you're going to bring your feet about hip width apart or slightly wider. You're going to engage your lower abdominals, you're going to engage your pelvic floor, so that's scooping in. Then you're going to bend your knees and bring your pelvis back. Imagine you're sort of sitting back into a chair, so it's a back sensation rather than sort of moving forwards. Try to keep your chest lifted as well. And then when you press back up, you press through your heels, you scoop it all up to standing. We're going to do that 9 more times. So bending the knees, imagine you're sitting back into a chair, and then pressing up and lifting up. 8, nice and slow and controlled, so you have the time to think. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lovely everyone, so last little exercise, you're going to come back down onto the floor. Have your knees bent. Engage your pelvic floor, so that sensation of scooping up and in. Lower abdominals slightly engaged. You're going to let your knees drop from side to side, but we're going to take it slowly. And I don't want you to let your knees drop all the way over, because otherwise you start to go a little bit floppy around this area. You want to keep all of this area nice and contained, because that's going to help strengthen up that general area of your body. So you want to imagine your lower back isn't even going to lift away from the ground. So your knees are going to come over first to the left, and then you're going to bring them back through center. This is more like a Pilates exercise, but super good for strengthening up the muscles around the pelvic area. Lovely. Really slowly, in your own time, taking your knees from one side to the other. And making this your final round, making sure you're feeling even on both sides. Not big movements, but slow and controlled. Well done. Bring your knees in towards your chest. Just close your eyes down. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, release. Let your shoulders melt down to the ground. One more breath like that. Inhale. And exhale. Just let your head drop from side to side. And then when you're ready, slowly bring yourself back up to a seated position. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me. That one was actually a request from one of our watchers, so thank you so much for that request. I really do love receiving them. So if you have any requests and you'd like me to make a video about anything, then please just let me know. Send me a comment or send me an email or contact me on Instagram, however you'd like to get through to me, and I'll make sure I do some videos for you. Thank you so much, guys, and I'll see you here again soon. Take care of yourselves.